this time. So I got the red truck done, which we'll put the video together to that, basically showing the X-pipe differences out of the tailpipes, et cetera, et cetera. So then we'll do something a little different on the C8. So Kelly Aiken, Mr. Draggy, he put E40 in his Z and picked up substantially in the 60 to 130. So it got me thinking, like, what's it worth power-wise? So we seen the video before what it made. We ended up making 630 with the throttle bodies and the intake and the headers, like blah, blah, blah. So what we're going to do is we'll move the truck tomorrow off the dyno. We'll do it tomorrow, you know. But we'll move the truck off the dyno tomorrow, and then we will we'll re-dyno the C8Z with no other changes other than 40% ethanol. So we will show exactly what it picked up, which, you know, like all the other cars and any of the direct injected stuff since 2014, technically, they pick up substantially because they're quite a bit of compression, and the fuel and the octane rating really helps, especially this car is 12.5 to 1 out of the box. So 12.5 to 1 compression on 93 is pretty wild, actually. I mean, 20 years ago, we couldn't have done that, not with 5.5 liters. So it's pretty sweet. So we're going to do that. I just was dumping some fuel in here, and I was like, oh, wait, I'm supposed to video this. I'm really bad at this game. So I got 5 gallons of E40 mixed up, ran the car almost all the way out of gas. So it should, you know, it's actually almost E45, but I figured with 1 or 2 gallons of 93 that's in there, it'll get us really, really close. So we'll finish this off tomorrow, but it'll be pretty cool. I'm excited to see the differences. I mean, everyone on YouTube keeps telling me, there goes your warranty, so hopefully I don't blow it up tomorrow. So this is all in the name of science, and it's more for me than it is you, but I'll point at you anyways. I think it's going to pick up.
It'll do something.
Better. It'll tame it, but keep the pace up. All right, we finished it up. We made 3 different runs. Surprised it didn't make more, but it's also getting harder to make power and stuff like this when it's already pretty decent. So, I mean, it did pick up 11.6 rear wheel horsepower and 14 torque total. That was on the best of 3 runs. On 2 of them, it was 636, 637 or whatever, so I just kind of left one and got rid of the other one. But so it was 630 before on 93, which is 10% ethanol commonly. And right now it should have exactly 40%. It's very, very close. Like it was almost all the way out of fuel, and I put 50% in there, maybe had a gallon or two. I'd have to double check it to verify, but it's definitely very close to 40% ethanol. It's either E38 to E44 tops. So not as huge as I thought, but I mean, decent gains. No tuning, 641 wheel. So it's pretty awesome. Actually super excited to drive this car now. I mean, that's huge gains. Like huge gains. Like actually while we're right here, I'll just try to flip it back. I can't remember which one's which. There we go. Yeah, bone stock was 596. So I'll get out of there, run 0, run 14. So 596 rear wheel horsepower bone stock was the best of 3 runs. And then 641.7 with the headers, the intake, the throttle bodies, and then, 40-ish percent ethanol. So we'll try to find what's the highest gains. 438 to 508. We'll go 400 to 487. It's pretty huge right there. What do we got here? 484 up from 395. So that's 90 foot-pounds of torque gained right there. 90. That's huge. That's freaking awesome. So that's pretty exciting. I mean, 90 wheel torque that's 25% of what it made. I mean, at that point it was 395 out of the box, and now it's 484 at 5,000 RPMs. Like, the car is going to accelerate so much harder making all that torque through the curve. That is super awesome. That is actually pretty freaking badass. Yeah, I mean, like, even right here, you're up talking 61, 62 wheel horsepower at 7,200 RPM. Like, that's wild. With just some easy stuff. These cars are so impressive. Like, these cars are magnificent. Like, honestly, though, it's super impressive. Like, you can't hate on these cars. If you do, you're just an asshole. Like, they did an amazing job on this car. The car drives amazing. It handles amazing. It looks amazing. It feels amazing. The interior is amazing. The electronics are amazing. Like, it feels like a $500,000 car. It's an awesome car compared to anything else on the market right now. And like, I'm pretty blessed. I get to drive hundreds and hundreds of vehicles a year, and I've drove Ferraris and Lambos, and they're definitely like a super badass car. And I think some of that stuff is almost in your mind more than anything, where you can drive an 11-second Ferrari and you feel like a billionaire. But like, this car runs mid-tens out of the box basically, and I mean, you can get one of these for $125. So it's like, it doesn't matter what you think. The car is amazing for the price. It sounds amazing. It looks amazing. I have some pretty cool stuff. I have some pretty fast cars. Like, my C6Z is absolutely faster than this in a straight line, but this car feels substantially cooler. I didn't get that feeling from a C7. I think the C7s are great. The C7 Z06s are fast. They're grunty. They're powerful. They're torquey. But they don't sound and feel like this car does. I think they outdid the C7 substantially. I still think the C6 is better than the C7, but that's my opinion. Anybody can argue that that's not the truth. But I really have a hard time not feeling like the C8 is better than the C6. I said it. It's just, this car is pretty awesome. When I want to go row some gears and really fly 150 on the highway, I'll probably drive the C6. But when I'm just cruising around, it's going to be really hard not to be in this thing. It is an awesome car. So, not going to do anything else to it. I'm going to leave it at that. I just seen some people on the internet putting some 40% ethanol in here, and they were making some pretty big claims, and some people had some good results. So I wanted to see what it actually gained, if at all, with whenever. So we came, we saw, we conquered. Like I said, 90 foot-pounds of torque. Psh, that's miraculous. That is pretty wild. So 90 foot-pounds of torque we're up in a bone stock car with some bolt-ons. Awesome.